Now, vaccine passports could be extended to pubs, cinemas, theatres and other hospitality venues from early next month. The First Minister says a final decision will be made next Tuesday. The passports already apply to nightclubs, adult entertainment venues and some larger events. But business leaders have said any extension of the scheme would be a massive step backwards and have damaging implications. Well, Louise McLean runs 20 pubs in the Signature Group and she's also a member of the Scottish Hospitality Group. Good morning to you, Louise.
Good morning.
There has been so far no decision on this, but there is a promise to consult with businesses ahead of the decision being made next Tuesday. Does that give you any reassurance?
Not given what we've been through for the last 18 months, because we've been told we've been consulted with before and we've been listened to. I almost wish we'd just been told yesterday what the plan was, and then at least we'd have had longer before implementation. There is a meeting this week, and we hope it'll certainly be fruitful with Ivan McKee. Definitely hope that his listening ears are on that day.
So you have had contact, at least, from the Scottish Government?
Yep.
Indeed. If it's approved, it will kick in on the 6th of December, just in the run-up towards Christmas. Does that give you time to, A, get it implemented, but also to take effect, I suppose?
No, I think we'll look at an absolute avalanche of cancellations. I think people will just stay in. Why would you? I think people will just have a house party rather than coming back out to what is such a regulated industry. We're so safe because we're still tracking and tracing. We obviously ask masks to walk around. That's a mandate. Hand sanitizer is everywhere. And we still really try and encourage people to social distance where they can, which you obviously don't do at a house party. I think the public will just say, do you know what, I'll just not bother.
Why do you think this would be the straw that breaks the camel's back?
I'm not saying I don't think it's a straw that breaks the camel's back, but I think there's so much confusion. I think people don't really quite understand what's the point of it. I certainly don't understand. If you can still be positive for COVID but be double vaccinated and potentially also with your booster, if it can still be transmitted even though you're double vaccinated, I don't understand what the COVID passport will do. It either has to be a deterrent to encourage people to go and get vaccinated, in that case bring it right across society, or it's there to suppress the virus, which it's not going to do anyway.
Tell me this, if the government decided to introduce the use of negative lateral flow tests or proof of recent infection and added that in alongside the vaccination passport, would that be of any more use to you?
I don't think it would be used to me, but I think it would definitely be used to public health. I think that I'd like to see how it works, because, if you look about fake ID in the 90s, do you actually have to take a lateral flow test in front of someone? Do you have to have an official certification potentially from a pharmacy, which I know is what they're doing in Austria? So I think that it could have wider ramifications for how that is implemented. But if the decision is made that what the government want is to suppress the virus, then yes, a negative lateral flow test would be of benefit.
What implications do you think the extension of the scheme would have for your business?
I think the public would be pretty confused bringing it in on the 6th of December. The public already are a wee bit of pandemic fatigue, because we're really the only industry where we're telling people how to behave still. So before someone's even sat down, we've sounded a bit draconian with the measures we want them to remain complicit with. I think this would just be another thing. It's just a hassle.
But a lot of customers will already have used COVID passports if they've travelled to various different European countries. It's just showing an app on your mobile phone, much like they just have to scan something to check in. What impact would it have on your staff, do you think?
The staff would just have to get on with it. We've just had to get on with everything. But I was in France recently and the COVID passport was there. My mum was just up to high-do about it. So yes, it's fine for us that have apps and that totally get it. But there's another generation that are just not quite as savvy with these things. So I don't think it's one size fits all.
Is there anything the government could do at this stage, perhaps at your meeting with Ivan McKee later this week? Is there ever anything that they could say that would convince you that this is a good idea?
Just tell me why. Just literally the why of what they hope the COVID passport will do, and sort of because the Deputy First Minister stood up a fortnight ago and said he didn't think they were doing anything. So I just would like to understand the why, and then like with everything, the hospitality industry will comply because our licences and our livelihoods are dependent on making sure we fit in with the Scottish Government's rules.
Perhaps the why is, well, the choice might be between this or further down the line, more restrictions on opening hours, group sizes, where and when you can serve alcohol and food. So is this not a price worth paying in the longer term?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. But the evidence was never there before. So I'm just, what I'd like to know is what the COVID passport that's now been in place for the last 6 weeks amongst nightclubs. I'd love to see the evidence of what it's done so far. And then I'll be like, right, brilliant, I'm on the bus, fantastic. But it just seems to be getting rolled out without that part happening.
Have you had people contact you already to ask whether they need to show any proof of any of this sort of stuff whenever
Every single day.
At bookings towards Christmas? Well, what are they saying to you?
Do I need a COVID passport to come into your venue? So, yeah, as in, and I mean, I'm talking like literally to come for coffee. Do I need a COVID passport? So, yeah, every day people are asking. There is confusion.
And how much are you able to help them? I suppose at the moment they don't, and that's easy. But what are you advising people who are booking towards sort of late December and Christmas bookings?
To what we've done now for coming up for 2 years, please listen to the government messaging at all times. Please keep yourself informed. We'll do our best to inform you, but please keep yourself informed again, because then you're in control.
Are you actually having to sort of talk people through the app to try and get things downloaded as they prepare?
Not yet, because we don't have any venues that are affected by COVID passports just now. We don't have any sort of young persons or nightclub venues. But yeah, God, if I had to do it with my mother, imagine doing it with all my customers.
Louise, thank you very much indeed. Louise McLean there, who works with the Signature Group and is also a member of the Scottish Hospitality Group.